Hey y'all, grown black folks talk. I chose to put up Saturday's video up Saturday, even though it was intended for Sunday morning, because I wanted to say something a little bit different today. It is actually utterly ridiculous that I should have to do a video about black women out enjoying their lives, single or coupled. It is utterly ridiculous that I should have to do that, given what the promises are that we supposedly live under. And I was going to make a follow up on that anyway, but then subscriber Turd Ferguson. Now that's his name for himself. Turd Ferguson 6978. Been with me a long time, since at least Themis and Thought days. He said, just my 2 cents. What all Americans live in their lives, they chose the fulfillment of the promises made in the Declaration of Independence and the expression of natural rights. Uh, Turd, Mr. Ferguson, let's just go there because that doesn't even sound right to me. But Mr. Ferguson, let's just go there. And I know you don't have a problem with it, but it doesn't sound right coming out. The reason, like I said there, it's a good 2 cents. That 2 cents is not going to disappear in inflation either. But the fact that he is deprecating it as if it was something small and insignificant just tells you how much resistance historically and at present there is to black women enjoying their natural human rights. And I have come back to say this today. As I go about my Sunday morning business, doing what I have been called to do with no one on this earth able to oppose me. Get really comfortable, black women, with your natural human rights. You get to go do what you want to do. You get to love who you love. Now, do you have to get very, very good at it and very thoughtful about this to be able to do this in a country that simply does not believe it, among men that are trying to turn back all, to take all natural human rights away from everybody but themselves? It's a different video, but I would love to sit down and talk to Amy Coney Barrett, Justice Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court said, do you consider yourself an originalist? You do know that by considering that you are actually working against you having any political rights at all, since the Constitution and the front 10 do not give you full civil rights as a woman, to say nothing of being black, since you're not. But as a white woman, when did people like you get to vote again? There are a whole lot of men and women who are willing to turn back the clock on everybody's right but theirs. And some of them don't even understand that the people that they're following around loose are going to turn back their rights. Even white men without property couldn't vote until 1824. That took 48 years and plenty of fussing and fighting and threatenings of civil war in between. Who is that man from Tennessee talking about elections don't work? That's correct. It took a civil war to make sure that everybody would get some rights in this country. That is correct. Problem is his side lost, but that's a different video. That's a different video. The point I'm trying to make is you have a country that has millions and millions of people dedicated to you as a black woman not having your natural human rights. And then you have these men who are out there suggesting that you be disappeared in the manner of the Holocaust. Every man, every woman and child, girl, because the girls are just going to be put through what Sally Hemings was put through for their existence and then discarded when they get too old. That's it. Adagon Forrest said that. Anton Daniels said that all single mothers should be wiped out. That's about the size of the Holocaust, about 2/3. Not quite the size, 2/3. The other number is 18 million, 3 times big. You have men coming up in comments and videos in which, people are coming together to mourn the death of a black woman who they loved, talking about, we wish that we were white men so we could get away with what they get away with. We agreed when they killed black women, we agree, and we wish we could be them to get away with it. That's the kind of resistance. It is ridiculous that I should have to make a video about black women enjoying their lives. But I need you to understand the amount of resistance and I need you to move a little bit more carefully. I need you to stop fighting with each other over. Simone Biles just got her 6th world title today. I don't nobody send me any videos about her edges. I want to need us to stop with all these petty fights because you don't understand how serious it is. People are out here hell bent, and I said that because I said the other day that this move is satanic, hell bent on keeping us from having any rights at all. Cuffing season is coming up, and I'm going to change that because I learned what a COFL was from Confidence with Love. COFL season, chains and shackles chaining us to the next black woman who thinks exactly the same way, weighing 55 pounds. You're not going to run away with that, especially not chained to someone else and forced march to do work. We're coming to COFL season. Someone has a COFL they want to put you in. Somebody wants to, corporations love having strong, independent black women who only are dependent on them for resources. They love having a situation where black women are in student loan debt. So they and the corporations that do that are perfectly happy to lobby and have their friends in the Republican Party make sure that that coffin will remain on you. I'm not saying that it's not good that you can get access to jobs. I'm saying that it's a coffin if you don't have anything else. The Exodus Summit is going on this weekend, and so if you haven't gotten there, you are late. However, the Facebook group is still available, and it's for Black women only. But I will put it in the description for you in case you are looking for a way out of that particular coffle. Well, the reason I also said it's coffle season is because so many of you are going to be hearing, if you're single, well, when are you going to get mad? Blah, blah. Men are going to be trying to predate in their most predatory ways, getting ready for the holidays, knowing that you are being encouraged to not show up at the next Thanksgiving or Christmas. Who said you had to go visit people who do not understand who you are in the first place? Who said that if you have to go be with people who only think that you have value if you bring a man along? Who says you don't get to check the people who are like that, who do not understand that you are not a chattel for whatever fantasy they have for your life, even about children and grandchildren? Whatever vision they have for what a black woman's life should be is their personal problem. Who said you have to keep having people in your ears that don't respect your boundaries, don't respect your time, don't respect your humanity? What I'm saying to you as we go into coffee season is don't get in it. Don't get hooked up in any way, not friendships, not chosen working relationships, especially not romantic relationships. And whatever you do, don't get married until you know that the person that you are associating with, the bar is at least understand that you have basic human rights. Seriously, get your life together. Get your life together with so many things that are wholesome and helpful for you to enjoy, that build you up and bring you into your best state of mind and bring you into your best spiritual state of mind. Again, shameless plug for the Lord Jesus Christ. I can't recommend anybody else. Can't do that. Can't do that. But getting saved helps, because then you get to return to understanding that not only were you created in the image of God, He has redeemed you back to your position as co-steward, king, priest, or queen, priestess, if you're a woman, of the universe, co-regent with Christ Himself. That's who I am. So I have no time for anybody who just sees the help, because his vision is not clear enough. And there's enough Christian men out there that don't see that either, because they ain't read to the end of Genesis 3. Well, man was given the dominion. No, I'll read to the end of Genesis 2. Adam wasn't given a dominion of the whole earth till Eve came along. Be fruitful and multiply. Exactly how was Adam going to do that by himself? And subdue the earth. It was given, the charge was given to them, which means that woman has equal stewardship right. If you don't know that, you can't be with me. If you don't know Galatians 3:28, there's neither Jew nor Greek, there's neither male nor female, there's neither slave nor free, for all are one in Christ Jesus. That means I'm entitled to everything you're entitled to in glory. It also says, husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them, lest your prayers be hindered. God's going to throw you out of fellowship with Him if you don't love me the way you're supposed to. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave Himself for her. Men are very happy about 5:22-24, which talks about a wife's duty submission to the husband. They ain't trying to hear about the part where they have to die for their wives daily, nourishing and cherishing on the level that Christ cherished for His church. Ephesians 5:25-32. If any man provide not for his own, he is worse than an unbeliever. 1 Timothy 5:7. 8. 1 Timothy 5:8. And by the way, this was not just for a man's duty to his wife. This actually referred to a man's duty to all his female relatives. If you want to be a Christian man and you want to be anywhere around me, yeah, you're gonna have to steady up. You have to be ready. And this is the thing. Because 1 Corinthians 7 said it was just as good for a Christian woman to stay single. I'm going to be out here enjoying my life till someone comes along who understands the assignment. And what I want you to do, of course, as the Apostle Paul said, I would wish that everybody would be a Christian, although the path is not simple. His path included change. But everybody ain't asked for that. Of course, I would invite you to believe on the Lord Jesus Christ as your Savior from sin. But whether you do that or not, which brings us back to a general conversation about common grace, please go enjoy your life. Go find out what your interests are. Go find out what you enjoy doing. There were all kind of people who were sitting around on the lawn watching the Blue Angels free of charge, but there are other people that enjoy going to the show. They paid for that ticket and went down there. There are all kind of people that hated every minute of that, but may have been walking along the Embarcadero, may have been at any number of sporting events. Actually, the Giants are not in the playoffs. The 49ers, I think, are playing tomorrow. Any number of the Warriors had a preseason game, but I don't know if it was in San Francisco. Some people are into sporting events. Some people are into nature. Some people are into museums. I'm sure whoever was at the museum today was kind of frustrated because that noise. Or well, yeah, today too, because you're watching this on Sunday and the foolery. I mean, the air show is gonna start again. I'm not a fan. I don't like a lot of noise, but there are a lot of people that do, and that's okay. Because guess what? I don't get to diminish their interests. And you need to be with people, men and women. The hardest thing, the hardest thing that I learned at the end of the summer, or really the beginning of the fall, thanks to Ebony K. Williams and some others, is that there are Black women who are just as toxic, as channel making, as wanting to live their best white woman lives as there are men. And they will do you in too. They will. I deal with so much of this in a work situation of which I can give you no details. I had to go ask my board president. We had dueling whats. They did what? She said a what? I hate it when these women do this because what they're doing is they're setting up an opportunity to meet me at my most Lady Vader-esque. And I take these fingers and get on this keyboard and do that Palpatine thing. You know, they're what they're doing is, and I've talked to y'all about this before, about hating to be in a position, but I have a Black male friend that says if you were called to it, you were called. Because sometimes it is more impactful if the one that they know loves them has to shut them down, because that's really going to get their attention. Sometimes you have to understand you have to be called to all of it. And I knew that, but I appreciated the reinforcement actually. Because it kind of is what it is. I cannot allow even Black women who don't get it that we are all free to mess over other people. No, 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 no. And that's the thing. We do not have to allow people to the extent that we can control it. Now, Stephanie Perry says something different than what most people are saying. Most people are telling Black women, make sure you vote blue no matter who. She's like, get out of the country before the election. United States is not going to get better. It's not going to change for the better no matter who's elected. But the point is, I'm not here to settle the argument. The point is, you have a choice. Uh, I don't feel that there's anybody, I want to vote independent. You have a choice. Don't let people come guilt you about, well, vote for an independent is really a vote for Trump. No, that vote can be a vote for RFK Jr. if he makes it on the ballot as an independent. You got your choice between RFK Jr. and Cornel West. So Cornel West is going to take votes from Joe Biden, and RFK Jr. is going to take votes from Donald Trump. Don't let people guilt you into doing anything that is not with your conscience to do. You answer to your creator. Now, if you are an atheist or agnostic, as a practical matter, that is not even operational for you as a practical matter. Uh, we're not going to argue it today. But the point is, none of these other people are God either. If you don't believe in God, then you need to do it all the way around. And don't let these mortals get in your ear and tell you what you think, what they think you should. Because if you don't believe in God, you don't believe it all the way around. We only disagree about one person in the universe and having the same opinion on this. Just one. That person would be Jesus Christ, who I believe is God. But none of these other mortals qualify. That's the only place we're disagreeing here about Christ being God. None of these other people qualify. So get them out of your ears. It is ridiculous that it is necessary for Black women to make videos talking about being Black, being a woman, and being out enjoying the day and doing whatever we want to do with whoever we want to do it with. It is ridiculous that this should have to even be done in 2023, provided that everything that we have been told on paper actually exists. That's a big proviso, isn't it? See, one of the hardest things that you're going to ever go through in your life is realizing that a lot of things that you were told were so vanish into air. But you understanding that what is real, and that reality that you are fully human with fully human rights, endowed by your creator with certain inalienable rights. Thomas Jefferson didn't believe it, but he was right to say it. Makes a difference to whether you will enjoy a life or you will be forced into the slow death that your foremothers were forced into, giving their youth, their strength, their fertility, their vitality to make other people's lives what they could not make it on their own. Freedom is life. Not understanding this is death. Don't be taken into the illusion that you're gonna work your way into a situation making someone else's life good. I don't care whether it's a big corporation. I don't care whether some man has you thinking that just serving him is the greatest thing on earth. That little wannabe Satan does not understand that his duty as a man and steward of the universe is to get his portion of the universe in such a condition that you can come in there, blend and extend, and not have to build it and put it on your back. That is a little excuse for Satan. That's an imp. And these imps are out here talking about they wish they were white racist men so that they could kill Black women and get away with it. Not 8 months after Anton Daniels up here talked about killing darn near 5 million Black women, single mothers. About the same time, the Atagon Force is out here getting his butt handed to the ADL and the FBI for suggesting the murking of 18 million of all 18 million of us and putting Black girls into sex slavery. These little imps do not deserve any attention in your life. And the way you vet them out, I have a particular system, and without getting into details, you can kind of guess that what I don't allow on this channel, if I hear that, any kind of savor of that, that's that last conversation. It's generally going to take me about 20 minutes of letting somebody talk before I realize, can I have you around? And the thing about it is, I find all kinds of men. There's not very many men I find unattractive. I just wasn't raised with an ideal type. I was born before Instagram. I was born before the internet, actually. I was born close to the beginning of personal computing, so I didn't spend all day looking at a screen, and my parents had made me read more than watch television. So I didn't spend my entire life looking at a screen trying to figure out who I should love based on who the flavor of the month. So there's actually not that many men whose body types I find unattractive. My family is all large, so of course I'm sort of. My dad is a large man, so I'm inclined actually toward large men. I like tall men too. I like men with square shoulders. I don't like a man to be too skinny, but I can make it work. I can work with all types of men. But that conversation that he has with me in that first 10 minutes will determine whether or not he ever speaks to me again. And I will sit there and I will smile and be like, nope, 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 nope. If we're still talking in 10 minutes, I will make one of those general African American woman statements about who the Lord is and just why is there any kind of life connecting there? It takes me about 10 to 20 minutes. I'm ruthless because again, that's what's at stake. I know that a lot of things ride on me staying alive. Ain't no man in this universe worth me leaving here over some foolery. I don't care what he looks like. Put him up here butt naked. If I don't like his conversation, I don't care. I am not biologically compelled to think about reproduction 9 times a minute. I don't have that. I don't have a sex drive that's 250 times larger than another woman. I just don't have that kind of pressure in my life. I am a woman. I don't have to have all that. So I don't care how cute I might think he is. Walk on by. Because I know that I have a full right to enjoy my life right as it is. I do not need a man to validate me. The Lord Jesus Christ is man enough. He has all the resources in the universe. I don't need everyone to find me sexually attractive. There have been plenty, but you have to look at time of life and can you make that partnership work? And is it the right time to do that? So far, no. As I mentioned, I am okay now living in San Francisco and no longer mourning the fact that my father's exact image may not be God's choice for me. I am now open to being like my younger sisters and looking at all demographics. So the Lord can send him from whoever he wants. He has people out of every tribe and nation. And who knows? Maybe he does have a man in my father's image I haven't met yet who fits all the other requirements. But understand this: man, woman, child, or beast, if you don't accord me basic human rights to my own thoughts, my own ideas, my own opinions, and my right to live my life as I wish until we are committed and begin making plans together in which he takes the primary responsibility for making this thing work as God requires of him as a husband, I belong to me and I belong to the Lord Jesus. Because again, for a black woman, you go immediately from, if you compromise on this, you go immediately from free person all the way down here, slow or fast. Because people have preconceived ideas that are so ingrained that Turd Ferguson is out here talking about his 2 cents. Since people cannot see that black women are all part of that all American and have the same rights as everybody else. So I got to make videos like I made yesterday because people still don't get it, including black women, because we have been so terrorized and tyrannized and programmed incorrectly to think that we owe something to everybody else, such that, hold on, I'm trying to change my background. We owe something to somebody else, such that we do not have the right to go enjoy our lives with whoever we want. Like we got to be looking over our shoulder and be worried about people going to be cheering if something goes wrong for us. Who are those people? They are the kind of people who, again, wish they were white so they could kill us and get away with it. They want to be bigger terrorists than they already are. And we worried about their opinion about our lives. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. I think no is no in Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese, in addition to English. I also can give it to you in German, 9. So that makes 5 languages at least. Just no. Okay? Uh, that no spans at least 2/3 of the world. No. No. not going to do this. We're not going to live for men who ideate about being people who get away with murdering us, no matter what color they are. We're not going to live for them. No. We're not going to live for women who want to sell us down the river to said men. No. The terrorists and the terrorist helpers can have each other. Ebony K. Williams can repent or get the man she deserves. She dates a lot of white men. She can go get a white racist. Candace Owens probably managed to do that. So, hey, if there's probably another one available. But I'm going to tell you this. When the chips go down, you're going to find out where you stand. But see, you can either get your life together or deal with consequences. That's true for everybody. Why am I out here braving this heat anyway? Because I have worked to get my life together. I'm down almost 30 pounds, but I've still got a long way to go. I have to get my life together. I have a book coming out. I got stuff to do. I have to get my life together. I have to maintain my writing and my production so my income stays up while I'm also doing this. I have to reconstitute my life after the latest heartbreak. I have to get my life together. I have to make sure that now that Kaiser is done doing the strike that it was doing because they won't treat the healthcare workers right, that I make sure that I stay on top of some of my mother's prescriptions and make sure we get that called in as soon as they get back off the strike on Monday. Because why? Because that's part of me getting my life together and helping them keep their lives together. I am committed to a bunch of people. I got to get up. Well, by the time you see this, I will already be up doing what I need to do for these kids because I have committed to do that. I am their Sunday school teacher and their choir director and their program director on second Sunday. I had to get my life together this morning. I do not have time for the foolery. I do not have time for the foolery. I advise you to get this same attitude. Find out what you're here for. It's not to be part of COFL season because somebody in your life keeps in your ear that you don't have value unless you have a man. And if that person is you, you need life coaching and therapy. I'll put it in the description. You need to take confidence with love, becoming a self-confident Black woman. And some of y'all need to just go ahead and go on the page where it says other projects when you get finished with that course and go get her course about interracial marriage so you actually know how not to get somebody who is basically a Confederate Nazi in disguise. And by the way, not all those people live in the United States. For those of you who think you want an international European man, it's a wonderful documentary that's probably be too much for most of you. But being Black in Europe is really very interesting right now because of how much immigration that's coming from areas that Europe colonized. So there's a German who said up there, well, we colonies. I said, no, you didn't succeed in getting much colonies outside of Namibia, but that was this tiny thing that y'all did to destabilize the empires that existed called World War I and World War II. And so what you're getting is the collateral damage of messing up everybody else's empire. So it kind of is what it is. When you start two world wars, there's really no telling what's going to happen to you in the end. You better know how to, you want a white man, you better know how to vet him. And then you can take those skills and learn how to look at other people's cultures and vet that as well. My personal way of looking at it is I know European history well enough. So it's just like talk to people about their own history and see what they have to say. If they justify dehumanizing people and think that's part of their great legacy, it's just like you sit up here talking, when you talk to a Southerner, he talks, well, it's not hate, it's heritage. Run. Well, when you hear that from a European, run. A European that does not have a problem about that colonial heritage, run. Does not have a problem with dehumanizing the rest of the world, run. And take any other ethnic group you want, because almost all of them have a background where women are devalued. So pay attention to how women are treated in their culture and ask them what to think about it and just be quiet and listen. Don't argue. And if your gut instinct is saying, that ain't it, he's too much a child of his own culture, run. And some of these cultures, you need to just go ahead and steady up front and be done with it and run. Because you have a right to live and to enjoy your natural rights and more. That's the floor. That's not the ceiling. That's the floor. Do you know that the ceiling for a man is Christ? Whether you're a Christian or not, I want you to think about this. The ceiling for man is to model himself after God, who is giving everything to his bride, the church, to have with him. Everything, including his whole life. Put it down, picked it up again, willing to go and die and get up and be an advocate for his bride ever after, sharing with her the whole universe, making a whole city. We call it heaven. You talk about, well, I can't afford these rent. Look, your model is someone who has a street made with gold with 12 pearls, and each of the walls is made of all kinds of jewels and precious stones. There is no topper for that till you hit the New Jerusalem. That is the model, ladies. And I'm not talking about whether or not he has. Tyler Perry's a billionaire. He's a fool. I'm not talking about how much money he has. Take your eyes off of that. How does this man situate himself as a generous steward of the Most High God? Does he understand? Okay, if you're not a Christian, let me generalize this. Does he understand common grace before we get to special grace? In other words, how does he look at his resources? Is there a spirit of generosity? Is that how he normally operates? It does not matter whether or not he's so sexually attracted to you for a minute, he'll give you anything you want to get in bed. No, you want to see, does this man understand that as I do the right thing, the things I need will be provided for me? That's what I'm talking about. Because a man who operates out of abundance is then not going to look at you and go into scarcity mode. How little do I have to do to get her in my thrall? That is the stuff of which narcissists and dictators are made. What you want to do is look for a man that thinks in terms of abundance, common grace. How much of it is available? The sun was up today no matter what anybody believed. There's probably 1,000 different people of 1,000 different belief systems out there who walk by or while I was outside enjoying the beautiful sunshine and the air show. Does he understand that everything that is for him is for you, and that you are worthy of everything he can purvey that may please you? And of course, does he have the wisdom to understand how you both do that to do your combined mission? That's important, which means you have to understand common grace. You have to understand abundance. You have to be detoxed from being greedy. You have to be detoxed from wanting this greedy American system and to be at the top of it so that you can actually be with a man like that. And that's what you work on if you are single now. Find out what you enjoy beside chasing being Mrs. Thomas Jefferson, when the only spot available for you in that system is Sally Him. Again, therapy, life coaching, confidence with love's course, the Exodus Summit Facebook group. So you can get around Black women who are using common grace to enjoy their lives around the world. The passport bros keep talking, I finally got my passport. Ladies, it's $150. If you don't have a criminal record or child support payments, it's actually shockingly easy to get it. I got mine in one small afternoon. And the only reason it took as long as it did was for COVID. To get it to me. But the setup only took a couple hours, and it wouldn't have been that long except, again, for COVID, and things were backed up. I also found out, I forget who it was that said it, but it was one of my subscribers. There is a global reentry card you can add to it as well. It's not even necessary for you to continue to put up with the foolery in this paradigm. You are free. I keep saying it. Again, it is ridiculous that I should have to keep saying it. Presumably, this was settled on paper since 1865. Your life's work in this country is to stay out of the grip of anyone who does not understand that what is on paper is actually the fact. It was the fact before the paper was written. It was the fact when you were created. You were not put here to be slaves to these little satanic imps. Or their female helpers. It just it just hurts my soul that I have to say that aloud. Because even in these comments with these men talking about they want to wish that they were white men and could get away with doing to black women what white men get away with, there was still black women co-signing the foolery. Everybody doesn't want to be free. And that's a personal problem for them. Don't let it be a personal problem for you. Cut them off and let them go. You don't owe your life to them either. Cut them off and let them go. I was thinking today of the older black women whose lives I had to make very miserable because that not only I put up with them coming after me, but then they started trying to attack the black children under me, and especially the black girls. That's not what you want to do. One of the reasons I'm so frustrated with Ebony Williams is because some of those girls are now approaching college age and across college age. And see, I get like this. See, you start attacking the children, you're going to have a different level of problem with me. But it just hurts me. I did that drag about Lovely T attacking that poor little girl, Kim Kardashian's daughter. Because what we not going to do, what we not going to do as black women, is cousin black women attacking children. We're not going to do it. See, Ebony Williams kept it within the adults, but see, some of my students are in that 1825, 27. Some of my friends are in their 20s, young women still working their way through life. And she just out there acting a fool. See, that's problematic. And see, here's the thing. Y'all have never seen me really start in on anybody. I'm a professional investigator. But it is heartbreaking that so many black women have decided that the best they can do is to try to take the natural rights from other black women in order to make their way in life. Cut them off, let them go, and make it so they pray. They don't want to bother you or anybody you're concerned with ever again. There's some black women in this area, some peers and some older women that found that out one good day with me. And I hate it. I've said that before. But if you're gonna be free, you gotta do what you gotta do. It is ridiculous that it is necessary, but you gotta live in reality. Make it so people understand. You are gonna have your basic human rights. That's the floor. And if people refuse to clear the floor, drop it on them. I wish it didn't have to be this way, but it does. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, like for real this time. I published the other one Saturday night. But I hope that you enjoy your Sunday, that you're out enjoying and doing the things that you want to do with your time, exercising your natural human rights. And gentlemen, I know there are a few of you here listening. Mr. Turd Ferguson came through. Obviously, you have the same rights too. And I hope that you enjoy them today. And I also hope that none of you listening to me feel the need to infringe on anyone else's rights because you feel somehow insecure. The therapy, the life coaching, the course, the Exodus Summit make. Now, I should say for the men that the Tony Gaskins is a black man and he is the founder of MyMentor.life. And there are black male coaches. One of the critiques I often hear of therapy from black men, I do pay attention. I don't always do the subject because I'm not the person to do that subject, being a woman, not a man. But that black men talking about it doesn't help anything. I need action steps. Well, the thing about life coaching is that it's founded by a black man who understands that people need action steps. So even though the resources I have do lean over toward black women, life coaching is for everybody. You can go there and find a black male coach. I think Tony Gaskins himself and also his father, his coach, Mr. Gaskins, the millionaire, his father coaches also and is his coach. He's available. I know there's some black men on there. So don't feel like I have forgotten you. It's just that this channel is focused on who I choose to focus it on. But don't think that if you want to do better, there's not resources for you. You too are entitled to your natural rights to enjoy your life and do the things you want to do. But at the moment anybody becomes a terrorist, that's across the line. But so long as we're going to stay, and I think I know my audience pretty well, because those of you who are here are the people that have not gotten slapped and blocked out of existence. So enjoy your day, everybody. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you. I may go on a climb today. Maybe. That depends on how I feel tomorrow. If not, I'll see y'all sometime next week. Well, no, this week, because it's Sunday by the time you see this. Anyway, bye.